Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Well, yesterday's video, we created these sweet little um, slide, these sweet little slide journaling cards, okay, in this envelope. And I told you in the beginning of the video, I would show you how to make a template to make the envelope. And I didn't get around to it. I did try, and I had to edit, and I wasn't quite sure. It just got too confusing. So I wanted to master my instructions, and I believe I've done it to make it much easier for you. So I want to show you how to make these cute little envelopes. And I was inspired, like I said, if you didn't see yesterday's video, my son purchases magic cards, and it's a game. It's not like he's doing magic or anything like that. And once in a while, the card will be sent in here. So he's been throwing me these really fun, these are heavy duty. This is, you can hear it. These are really heavy duty envelopes. So he's been throwing these my way to craft with, and I tore one apart, and I decided I wanted to make a template because I really like these a lot. And I thought you might enjoy knowing how to make these, and you could make yourself a template, and then you could make these cute little envelopes and make the project that I made. All right. So let me set these aside, and I have my measurements here. So I'm going to put this here for right now, and I want you to write down the measurements that you need. Okay. And it'll make it really, really easy for you. So I'll go over this with you. You're going to get either piece of, this is a old manila envelope, which works perfectly. You just want to make a template to trace around. This here is a piece of cardstock, and you can see this is pretty heavy duty. It's probably 110 weight. All right. So the first thing that you're going to do, write down these measurements, okay? So you're going to cut a piece of paper, and we'll do this together. You're going to cut your paper 8.5 inches long, and you want it 4.5 inches wide, okay? So write down, and then you can put this on your template as well. So let's just cut, and then I'll explain as I go along. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get out your big boy, your workhorse, whatever you call it. You're going to want, so this is 8.5 by 11, all right? So you're going to want to cut your paper 8.5 inches long, tall, okay? Then you're going to cut it 4.5 inches wide. Okay, so here is what you're going to be working with. So as you can see, it's 8.5 inches tall by 4.5 inches wide. That's what you need to start creating your template. Then you're going to get out your handy dandy scoreboard. I'm going to use my Martha Stewart one because I happen to like the measurements here and how everything is spaced, and this is done perfectly for me, for my mind. And okay, so then you're going to get your little doohickey here to score it. So now what you want to do, you've got your 4.5 inches wide. So you're going to want to score on each end of your paper 3/4 inches. All right. So we're going to count in, here's a 3/4, and you're going to score. I have to do this quite a bit on this one, and I hope you can see because the pink, I don't know if the pink is going to really show up, but I didn't want to cut a new manila envelope. So I'm using this. So here's 3/4 here, and then we're going to come over and we're going to come in. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. We're going to do another 3/4 on this side. And I'm doing, because this is heavy paper, I'm really pulling these fibers to make them pliable. Okay. All right. So you've got your 8.5 inches tall, 4.5 inches wide, and you've just scored 3/4 and 3/4. Okay. You're now going to turn your paper in a horizontal position on your score pad, and you are going to come up 3.5 inches. So you're going to work from the left because you want to score for this flip here, for the bottom to flip up. So you're going to start to the left and you're going to come up 3.5 inches. Okay. So there's your 3.5 inch mark. Then you're going to want to make your little fold over, and you're not going to be folding it over. You're just going, you might, depending on what you might want to make, but you just want that score line there to show that it is supposed to be a fold down envelope. And you're going to come down for that 1 inch. All right. This is 1 inch from here to there. So you're just going to come down 1 inch and you're going to score that. Okay, so now that's all the scoring that you have to do. So let me see. I want to make sure you can see this. Okay, with the lighting. It's a very dull day here again, rainy and dull. So I hope my lights are okay for you. So you've got your 8.5, 4.5. Okay, then you have your 3/4 inch here. Can you see the line? I'm trying to get it in the light here. So you've got 3/4 inch here line, and you have a 3/4 inch line here, and then you have your inch score at the top. All right. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to cut this, and you're going to want to make your envelope. So you're going to come over to the bottom at this 3/4 inch mark, and you're going to cut up right to this score mark here. Okay. And then you'll cut that across. And you may have to adjust this here to come in a little bit. Sometimes when you bring it up and you fold this over, it's just, there's not enough taken off of it. So you could always cut on the other side of the score line. Okay. All right. So now we have our bottom flap. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you want to create this here, and it's going to be very simple. So you're just going to find your center mark here, and I'm going to put a little just so you can see it. So we've got, you don't have to do this because you'll be able to see. I'm only doing this for camera so you can actually see. All right. So you've got your line here, here, and then your line comes down. So you're going to pick a spot, and I just kind of gauge it. And you're going to cut across, and then this is where you're going to take your corner here and you're going to flip it right over here to this side. That way the two sides are definitely going to match. Okay. And then you're going to cut that. You can throw those away. So now you have your template. All right. So we're going to fold up, and you do know, I'm sure you know that when you score, you want to score the back side. You want to fold. So already I can see when I fold this, I need to trim a little bit more of this off. It's going to be interfering. Fold up. Okay, I think that's good now. And then you're going to fold in. and you're going to fold in, and you have your envelope. Now, you're going to want to look at the bottom. This is hanging down just a tad. So I guess I'm going to suggest that you cut your pieces on the opposite side of your score lines. And I'm just trimming here because I can still see the score line here. So you're going to want to come just to the other side of that. Okay. All right. Then what I like to do is I like to take any type of rounder, and I'm sure you have a rounder at home to do your photos, whatever. I use the quarter inch little punch, and I just round these here like that. So now we have our rounded, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to distress this so you can actually see it a little bit better. I just don't know how well this pink is showing up. And then you have your template. Just make sure that you have a good sturdy cardstock. Because you're going to be tracing around this. And you do not need to distress your template. I'm only doing this so you can see better. So you can see all the lines, all right? So this is what I tore apart, all right? And this is the template. So it is identical. Only took me a night to figure it out, the easiest way to show you. And here you have your envelope. Now, the one thing that you're going to want to do, if you want to do it, you're going to want to write the dimensions down. So let's go over the dimensions again. The overall length is 8.5 inches. Okay, so you're going to cut your paper 8.5. The overall width is 4.5 inches. So 4.5 inches wide. So you're going to start out with your rectangle. Then you're going to score straight down each side 3/4 inches. All right. You're going to score at 1 inch, and then you're going to score up 3.5 inches. Okay. And you can write that on your template so you know. Somebody else asks you what the dimensions are, you'll have it on your template. So then when you want to make your envelope, maybe we'll make an envelope today and we'll decorate it. And we'll just use it instead of making these. We'll just use it and we'll make a little tag. So you're going to want to get your craft paper because I'm so into craft paper right now. So when you want to make an envelope, again, you're going to want to cut 8.5 by 4. All right, because this will make things real easy for you. Then you're literally just going to put this on the paper. It's all measured out perfect for you. Actually, this is the square bottom side. Okay, you're still going to have to score it, but you've got your, now you can just use your template and you can cut around it. It'll make things much easier for you. Before, and what I would do, what I highly suggest, before you cut it, I would score it. All right. because sometimes after you cut it, it's like your score marks they don't line up. All right. So you're going to do your 3/4 right here. Whoops. Oh, Barbie. Maybe we can get rid of that line. 3/4. Okay. You're going to turn it and you're going to come up 3.5. And then you're going to, am I in camera? Then you're going to come down to 1 inch. All right, so it just makes it easier to score it before. Then all you have to do is just cut it out. And I guess you do, well, yeah, you really do kind of have to do your side. And again, if you want to do it straight across and then put this in, you can do that as well. You don't have to round your corners as you cut. You can. Whatever you want to do. This one I'll leave straight, okay? And then I'll clip it. So I'll have one side where I actually cut, and then I'll just clip this here. After I fold it up. Gosh dang it. I'll finish that one. Okay. And then you're just going to fold it in, and you fold it in, and you have your pocket. This we're going to take a little bit off, and then I'm going to punch that again. This was the side that I and I'm just going to take a little bit of this off. But if you don't put any pencil marks on it, or you fold it the other direction, you're fine. So now you have your little pocket to play with. So again, we're going to, let's get this inked up. We're going to ink up this side. And we'll decorate it. And maybe make a little tag. Or we'll at least get it decorated. And you can do these with your colored, floral papers, your whatever you want to do, your scrapbooking papers. If you have, this is a great little project if you do have scrap papers left over. And I'm going to get my punch, and we're going to punch a little hole there. So I have a punch, and we'll punch a little, what do they call these, little divots or whatever. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this so I can see, because can't really see it inside. So I want to come to it's like the halfway mark here. Where'd my pencil go? Right here. So I think this looks right about center. I'm just eyeballing it. So that looks pretty much center. There we go. All right. There we go. Now, depending on whether you are going to make this style, all right, or if you're going to make just a pocket, okay, you're going to, that depends on how you're going to glue it. If you want to make this, you have to go back and watch my other video. This one here, I'm just going to glue shut. I want to see something here. Yeah, that's fine. These are a little bit lower where I made these. But I don't care. I don't mind about that. You can always adjust it. You can always bring this down if you want this. Is this 3.5? Yeah. Yeah. If you want it to look like this where it scores right across, then just cut this down. Cut this down a little bit. Okay. I'll show you how to. What I would do is I would just take my ruler. We'll do it here. Okay. And we'll score that. And I want to get my little cutter. That way you can have two different styles, okay? This is the tall one, but I'll just show you. So just take it and just cut it here. All right, then we can. So now it's right level with that. See that? And then we'll just cut it a little bit. So you can have a taller one. I wouldn't have minded the taller one. I just want to show you that you can play with this a little bit if you don't want it up over over your sides. And we'll do this again. I'll take a little less off of it this time because it is a little bit lower. Okay. All right. So see, now it kind of matches. All right. So we are going to unclog my. This is a love-hate relationship with this. I love the glue, but I hate trying to get it out. Okay. I just want to make sure that that's, yeah, didn't glue that down. So on this one, I'm just gluing all the way across, okay? And you'll have a cute little envelope here for your tag. And we can decorate it up a little bit. That's cute. That is cute. All right, so I don't have anything out here to enhance it. So let me get some little ephemera pieces and we'll decorate it up and then it'll be good to go. All right, so I actually ran off some paper. I love this paper here. I don't know if I purchased it or if it was a freebie. I used some of these images in the Romantic Junk Journal. This is a religious style journal kit. And I thought this would be really pretty because I want some bright colors. So for the interior tag, now I have this is old, House of Fabric, Sofro, which is now Joann's. This is a magnifying glass. This was my mom's. And this actually fits really well in here. So I can kind of judge the size of the tag. This is going to be about, I don't know, little less than 2 3/4, and I do want it tall. I want it to come up, so a little short of 5, and I'll play with this until it fits. But I can use this to kind of gauge what I want to cut out to go into. I can take this out. It's probably a terrible glare. The size and what I actually want to see for my tag. So these are great. I mean, if you have any type of old Like if you have a 4x6 frame and you need to do something 4x6, you can move this around and you're going to see what you're going to get. So I highly recommend. That's a nice little trick to do. But I want more of the writing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to remember in my head. I'm going to cut right about here with this, right in this section right here. I will trim and cut that down to start. That'll be the beginning of my tag. And I'm going to put this right in here, and we will cut. We'll use this for something else down the road. And then we will, so this here is 3. So I'm going to, I want to make sure it goes in and out fairly easy. We'll set that aside. And then I'm going to try this just to make sure it's got trim. Well, that's good. I will trim just a smidgen off, just so it goes a little bit easier. All right. And then I can get my smaller cutter out. And we're going to take a little bit off of the top of here because that's white space. And I want this, maybe I want this little bit of flower to come up. So I'm going to take the bottom. I'm just eyeballing this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace on the back. And because I want it to be the same height as this. So, and then I'm just going to cut it. If I can cheat and make sure that I have my straight lines and all of that, I'm going to cheat and do it. And I probably messed up because this is going to go on the front, so it's going to actually flip-flop on this, so it may not match up all that great, but that's okay. All right, so here's my tag, and I'm going to pretty much, I'm going to put a little saying on the bottom. I'm going to round these corners just to soften them a little bit. This one I will get my punch. We're going to put some ribbon there. And then I'm going to put a little saying on the inside. So there's all kinds here. Holy, eternal life, the mind of Christ, have victory, loved. I'm going to put here, created for good works. This is going to go on my tag. I always like to try to keep a little tiny bit of white border around my little pieces, so when I distress them, it goes mostly on the white and it doesn't take up a lot of space on the, whatever we got going on here. I'm going to just clip these corners a little bit just to soften them. And I'm going to put this on the bottom. I'll put that right there, okay? Which I think will be just lovely. there. And then we will finish that off shortly with a ribbon. And then the outside of the envelope, I ran off, well, this is the same one. I ran off this here, and I think I'm just going to, and I'll do this off camera, I'm just going to fussy cut, I'm either going to fussy cut this or this here, and then we're just going to add a little bit at the bottom. So let me go do that, because you don't need to see me wield my X-Acto knife. And when I'm done with that, I will be back. We'll glue it on, and we'll be all set. So I'm back with all my little goodies. I did punch a hole and add my ribbon for my tag, so that's all set. I did fussy cut a little bit out of the image, the floral image, so that is done. And then I grabbed a stamp, International Peace Garden, and then I cut out the word "Have Victory." We all need victory. And this was just a plain, simple little round circle. And then I've got a really cool stamp here. And I just stamped the, what do you call it, a marquee on there. And then I pulled out some washi tape. So let's finish up the envelope and we'll be good to go. So I'm going to add just a little bit of washi tape at the bottom here. And I'm going to put this in the back like this. This will be glued down in one of my journals, so I don't worry about that being that little bit showing on the back. Then I have my stamp here that we're going to add. Like I said, I love working with the craft paper, but you do have to have a little bit of brightness. So there is our garden. We're going to add this right here. I'm only gluing the bottom because I may end up putting something. This is going to have to be tucked behind my "Have Victory." I may try to do it like that. Put it I guess just like that. And then this little guy is going to go behind it right there. So I want to get, I think what I'm going, whoops, oh dear, I got glue on my crinkly ribbon. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some glue on the end here. Then I'm going to finagle where I want it here, which I think this will be lovely. Then I'm going to place that. I want it to come down a little bit, maybe down a little bit. Okay. So now I don't have to worry about trying to remember where I place the circle, and I can just work this way. And we're going to have our "Have Victory" right here. Now I can glue the rest of this down here. Sometimes you have to work upside down and backwards, right? And I do want to get this little flower because, knowing me, I'll put it in a page and it's going to rip up. So there is your wonderful envelope. I even kind of forgot that we made the template for this. So you have your tag, your envelope. Isn't that cute? I could make these all day. You could do a whole mass making with these envelopes here, and there's so many different ways that you can use them. So I think they are just adorable. So I want to thank everybody for joining in. For all my new subscribers, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you do return. I'd love to have you keep up on what I am doing over in my little craft world. For everyone that has been following me forever, 2 years to me is forever doing this, I want to thank you. I appreciate you. I love you all. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave a comment because comments do count. It is April, and I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.